Hey, what is happening, everybody? I am at Pruitt. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit on whatever podcast app you enjoy. Hope you're doing well. I am unbelievable as always. Sitting here on these mics, I'm not quite solo. Queen Pruitt is in the house, but Queen Pruitt is resting. I'll get more into that later on in the show. But right now she's resting. And tonight, I actually have a guest, and believe it or not, I actually have two guests. So one of these cats, y'all already know. It is Mr. Ozone Nightmare, and then the other guest is a not quite black square.
It's a gray square.
I don't know. Is that called void or what? What color is that?
I would call that existential dread. Number 4.
His name is Orlando. How you say your last name, Orlando?
Brew.
Orlando Brew, also known as Lando. The two of them together collectively, folks, is the Ozone Nightmare Squad. And I thank you, gents, for being here. Just got a message in live chat that says they can barely hear Joe yet again. I'm going to push the game just a little bit more. Hopefully it doesn't clip them. But yeah, these two guys.
I'm going to talk. How am I now? Am I okay? I didn't move anything, guys. I promise. I didn't.
I'm sure it's not you. I'm sure it's me, but you're good, brother. But yeah, thank y'all for being here, man. Me and Joe, we go way back quite a bit, but the two of you go way, way, way back. And I wanted to get on the mics and just have a little sit down with y'all and learn a little bit more about you, because you've piqued my interest a bit when I listen to your show each week. Y'all are some interesting dudes. I'll just leave it at that. Y'all are some.
See, Lando, I told you somebody listens. Somebody.
I don't know why.
Me either, but they do. I don't know either. No idea.
But yeah, we'll get into we'll dive into learning a little bit more about y'all shortly. But first, I just again want to say welcome and thanks to everybody that pops in and watches live. I see my homie John Helm is in the live chat right now, giving me a good sound check and feedback. Thank you, brother. Hopefully it's fixed now. I can't really crank it up anymore because it'll probably clip when you all hear it, and I don't want to try to fix that. That's painful. But on this show, if this is the first time catching the show, I like to sit down with Queen Pruitt and just talk about regular, everyday shit. I'm a full-time creator. I also drive for a limo service part-time. I'm a full-time model and actor. And I just talk about the ins and outs of that and the regular everyday struggles like the rest of the world is going through, And I don't get into all the gossip and stuff. And sometimes we'll talk about some random things. But so if this is something you're interested in, please feel free to hit the little like button and share button and all that good stuff. And help support the show that way without costing a dime. All right. Now, what I wanted to do before I started my quote interview with these guys, I see y'all probably see on the screen that I'm wearing my Clemson shirt because football season started this weekend. Hallelujah. I'm grateful for that. And you all know my affinity towards Clemson. But if you look at my background, there's an Oregon Ducks hat there. And I've been meaning to bring this up for a while, but it just never really came up. And I said, I'm going to make sure I mention it today. I want to give a shout out to the Oregon Ducks. Some of you know that Hardhead was once on their team last season. And he was a walk-on and went through all of the rigors, got his nose bloodied a handful of times, learned a lot, and went to the Big Ten Championship, went to the Rose Bowl, and all that good stuff. Y'all, the folks in Patreon, y'all know the journey. Y'all have seen it all because I shared everything with y'all. Well, a couple months ago, the Ducks organization was, apparently they had a hard time getting in touch with them. And they finally got in touch with them, and we didn't know why. And then he said, okay, we're looking for a delivery from Oregon. And it was a bit of a chaotic moment. He was stressed out. It's like, I'm waiting on the package and I haven't seen anything. And I mean, he was stressing us out every day because this damn package didn't show up. Well, the package finally showed up, and this is the package. This right here. this, if it goes in focus, is the Big Ten championship ring that they made sure he got. And this thing, I mean, I got big hands.
That's a ring?
That is the Big Ten championship ring. And I am so proud as a dad because it's got all of the bling and stuff, and it's got champions, Big Ten champions, yada, yada, yada. But right there on that side, it's got our name on that thing right there. Pruitt, 3-5. And again, he didn't play a snap. he didn't play a snap with them. He literally took a beating every single week against all of those guys. They were the number one team in the nation for most of the season. And but still, he played his part. And I am really grateful that they still bothered to even look him up to make sure that he was doing okay and get the proper shipping information to send this little fancy box that it came in. And when you open it up, it lights up and like so. Let me show it to you. But it lights up and all of that. And quite proud of him and very, very happy that he was able to experience that. And, you know, again, he's curious to go back to Oregon, but he's also curious about some other schools too once he finishes his junior college transfer transition, if you will. They had their first game this week and won in overtime. It was a bit of a mess, but they won. He and I watched some of the tape last night just to try to clear our minds a little bit. And it was fun to sit and just have that time with him and just go through the ins and outs of football that most folks don't even care about. But it was great for me as a dad. But anyway, shout out to Oregon and shout out to football season starting up. Now, that's out of the way. I want to pause for a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and chit chat with the homies from Ozone Nightmare and let y'all learn a little bit more about them. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. I am Aunt Pruitt. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick commercial. And we are back. Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. I am Aunt Pruitt, and this time I am hanging out with some guests. The Ozone Nightmare. I got Joe Esposito, Mr. Joe Esposito himself, and Mr. Orlando Brew himself in the house. But before I get into that, I got to show that we just got a super chat from the homie John Helm for a $5 donation. See, that's why I didn't want to crank that up, because of that sound right there. He says, congrats to Jacob. So thank you for that donation, my man, and appreciate the love and support of Hardhead and his endeavors. Appreciate you, man. Now, you guys, Joe, we know a little bit about you. Okay. I mean, you're a pretty active community member here in Patreon and even on the show when we go live and so forth. We go back a good bit. But your homie Orlando there, I listened to your show and you guys basically talk a lot about various video game topics or movie topics and sometimes some television shows, but mostly movies, crazy off the wall B movies and things like that. Knowing your background as an artist and now IT guy, how in the hell did you meet up with Lando? Because Lando is not like you at all, bro.
No, that's accurate. We met when I went to Hartford because I did my first 2 years of commercial art at a community college because, little pro tip for anybody, the first 2 years are garbage wherever you go. So you might as well do them cheap and do them local. So do the first 2 years of community college because nobody's going to care. Unless you have some really specific job you want where you have to have training right from the beginning. Yeah. So I did my first 2 years and then I transferred up to Hartford because I had the brilliant idea of following the girl I was dating at the time who proceeded to dump me within 3 months of me getting there.
Was
so
he
that was
laughing at you in the background? Was he?
I'm sure he is. He knows all this. This is not a secret to him. But that's why I really went. I could have gone to any art school. Probably
his girlfriend leaving him is the reason that we're friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is, because was it the first time he met me, he thought that I was basically a leather-clad asshole.
Well, you were. In fairness, you were. But
Leather-clad asshole. Okay.
No, it's true. Lando, when I saw him first, he looked like somebody that I would run from if I was outside at night.
Yeah.
Head to toe in leather. Still had hair at that point. Not that I wanted to talk. And much slimmer, but still looked like somebody who might just decide to break a bottle over your head visually.
Okay. All right.
And I'm sure I was nothing to look at either.
No, you still look like the comic book guy from Simpsons.
Simpsons, yes.
Dude, hold up. I'm just now putting that together, and oh gosh, Lando, thank you.
With the little ponytail and everything, got it all. Yeah. No, I have it all.
But Joe was an illustration major, and I was a double major in psychology and English. Mm-hmm. And I was at heart one of the art kids, so I hung out with all the art kids, and I hung out with all the art students, and was there all the time. No one believed that I wasn't an art student. And one night, Joe's girlfriend left him, and nobody was on board except for me. And I couldn't leave somebody in that kind of like psychological torment.
Yeah.
And we just we've been together since.
Ever since.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
How cool. You can hear the violins playing in the background right now.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Except the difference is I'd be smashing every violin in sight in misery.
Oh, he was angry for a while, yeah.
Oh, boy, was I.
Now, did you all graduate together, or was it separate graduations?
I didn't graduate until like 3 years ago. That's not an exaggeration either.
No, that's why I asked, because I know that stuff can vary when it comes to relationships in college, be it like.
No, Joe left. Joe left after the junior year, right? You were only there for 2 years.
No, it was senior year. I was 3 credits short. That's when I had to finish.
Yeah.
It was senior year. I was there for 2 years.
Yeah.
But I left because I
was... Oh, yeah, because you were a junior when you showed up, yeah.
I was junior when I got there.
Yeah.
I was such a terrible student that I literally, you remember, I did my senior project overnight the night before it was due. And I drew, I think,
Come on, man.
Oh yeah. I'm an idiot. I mean, I didn't. Lando's. That's what I'm saying. Lando's the smart one. I'm the idiot.
Oh, I know he's smart. I can definitely tell he's smart.
No. Joe is definitely the smarter of the two here.
Oh, please, that is a fucking lie, beginning to end, and you know it is. But,
you're gonna find that most of this is subterfuge and hiding.
But Lando did scholastics 8,000% more than I did. I'm very surprised I got the degree at all, because I was so bad. I didn't go to classes, and this is art classes, and I couldn't fucking show up.
Yeah, you're a pretty shitty student if you can't show up to art class,
he is pretty bad. Academically, we are the opposite of each other.
Wow, bro. Good grief.
And I went on to get 3 master's degrees?
No.
Unbelievable. So now you said psychology, and what was the other?
English.
In English. Okay.
Yeah.
Psychology. What the heck made you even decide that?
I didn't want to be in mental pain anymore.
I mean, okay.
Psychology is the study of the mind. I mean, it's like halfway between English and philosophy, I think, sometimes.
I agree.
But really, I think I wanted to be better, and I wanted to be able to help people around me that were important.
Nice.
And it just became a thing. And the more I learned and the more I watched people, the more I realized that a lot of it was right. I mean, not, like Freud and shit like that. You go back far enough and everything is bullshit. But a lot of the patterns are correct. And you start trying to track people that you care about and building portfolios in your mind of what's going on with them in their lives and how to help them.
Yeah. And
then it just becomes how you are.
Now, you just said building portfolios in your mind.
Yeah.
I know a couple people on the psychotherapy side of things. Mm-hmm. And I've always said to them openly, it's hard to talk around you, because I got a hunch you're just profiling me every freaking word that I say.
It's not profiling, it's listening.
Okay. That's that. Is that the politician way of saying it or what?
No. I mean, that's what it is. Listen, if you're going to give utterance to ideas, right, then I should, at least if I care, track what's coming out of your mouth so that I can do things down the road for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel you.
Because sometimes people need things and they don't know they need them.
Oh.
And it'll happen. And they'll go, wow, it's amazing that happened. And then you'll be in the background going, it's amazing that I made that happen. And their happiness is the only credit that you want. But you only know what people need by paying attention.
Right.
And that's me and Joe for like decades now.
Wow.
Because, he was very angry for many years.
I could see that.
It never even occurred to you that things I was saying you would be listening to in a psychological way until now.
Really? Jesus. You know what? It's because I play the idiot really well.
And I don't play. I am the idiot. So I wouldn't have thought of it. No, I didn't even think about the background thing. That didn't even occur to me.
What, that I was paying attention?
No, I mean, I figured you were paying attention, but the background idea of would you be building a profile of
what? I'll give you a story that sums up Joe and myself very easily.
Okay. Oh, this should be fucking great. Go ahead.
All right.
Am I allowed to tell Suicide Girl stories?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Okay. Joe asked me if I wanted to go to a Suicide Girl party in Boston.
Okay.
This is before he was married. This is before I was married.
I was going to say I was married.
Yeah. I was still a very bad man at that point.
Yes.
And I had just come off of a breakup. That was totally my fault. And I was like, Suicide Girl party? Sure. And
what a terrible idea this was.
It really was. This was my id. My id was like, ooh, naked girls.
No, hold on. What the heck is Suicide Girls? I have no idea what the hell that is. What is that? Come on now. Give me something.
How old are you?
He wouldn't know this stuff.
I'm not quite 50 and I'm not 40. I'll say that.
No.
Come on. It must have washed up on the shores.
No,
the internet
I don't think this is something that even people who visited porn sites would know. No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll give you it was an alternative girl, like, I'm going to say porn because it wasn't a porn site.
No, it wasn't. In the early days, it was like a pinup or burlesque.
Yeah. But it was like tattooed goths and alternative girls and wild hair and tattoos and
good stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff.
I learned something.
And
see, so John Helm in the chat never heard of it either.
Well, there you go.
And Joe here now, it's probably not anything like it.
No, but it's. I mean, listen, I peek in now and then, and they still look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Joe wanted to go to this party. He had become friends with some of these girls because they used to have forums, and he had become friendly with them. Whereas, like, I had not. But he was like, Suicide Girl party, and I was like, yeah, it sounds like a great idea. And so we drove up to Boston. And I think you were footing the bill for the hotel. And we got up there, and there was a dinner that first night when we got up. And I was going to see my sister who was going to school in Boston. And he was going off to the dinner because really I fucking hate people. And it catches me at the last minute. And so I went to see my sister.
I love you, bro.
And my sister got really ill that night. We don't know what was wrong with her, but she got really ill. And my parents were like, hey, can you drive her back to us? She's really sick. And, she was like I think she was a sophomore at that point. She was still at that point where she couldn't really take care of herself. Oh. And so so Joe rolls in at like midnight from his dinner. And I was like, hey, I have to go back to Jersey with my sister. You can stay here. And Joe was like, no, I'll come with you. So then we got in the car and we drove all the way back to Jersey. I think it was even later. I think it was like 1 a.m. at that point.
That's pretty late.
We drove all the way down. We literally, like, it was like a 2.5 hour drive, I think, at that point. We literally just put my sister like on the doorstep, knocked on the door, and then we were like, okay, we're going back now.
And we're out. See ya.
And then we hit like a wall of traffic and we were stuck for hours. It took us like 4 hours to get back to Boston.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it was 4 hours to get back.
Oh yeah, we fell asleep. We fell asleep in the car. There wasn't enough Red Bull. It was just
Good grief.
But we were in it together, and it was very funny. And we finally got there, and we crashed hard in the hotel room. And then that night was the party. And Joe comes up to me before the party and goes, man, you're not going to enjoy this. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I know you. He's like, you're not going to want to do this. He's like, here's the money. Go get something to eat. He's like, you don't want to do this.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck. But then I was like, but he's right.
Too many people, and too many people that Lando didn't know. Whereas I could function well enough. I can blend in enough. So
yeah. So Joe went and I didn't, and I basically wandered around Boston and got food and was just kind of whatever. And then later that night, I think some of the Suicide Girls were looking for Joe, and they ended up coming to the room knocking, and I was at that point in no mood for humanity, and I think I was like shirtless. You were shirtless. I was shirtless, and it was like
back to me.
And it was like all tattoos. And at this point, I was pretty jacked because I started lifting in graduate school, so I was pretty big.
Oh, dude!
And I was heavily tattooed. And
dude, you were the hotness.
No. I was the fury. And so I opened the door, and they were like, "Is Joe here?" And I was just like, "Joe is not here." And they were like, "Who are you?" And I think I think I said I was the driver, and I closed the door.
You said, I'm the driver.
I'm the driver. Yeah. And then they caught up with Joe later, and they said, "Joe, who is this weird guy in your room?" And Joe's response was, "Oh, that's Lando, baby. He's a force of nature." And that was
it. Yeah.
But the thing was, we knew each other well enough. I knew that Joe needed to go to that party.
Yeah.
Right. For his own mental health. And he knew that I didn't need to go. But we were both on board for the drive.
Oh, gosh.
You know, and that's been pretty much our relationship. So when he asked me to join him on his podcast, which was a mistake, by the way, because you could have done this on your own. I was like, sure. He was like, "You want to do a podcast?" And I was like, "No, but I'll show up and talk to you."
I would never have thought to tell that story as a way of articulating our relationship, but it is probably the best one you could tell.
It is
kind of laid out.
I mean, you otherwise you tell the Darth Maul story.
No, I thought about that. I thought the Darth Maul story.
Yeah, where he painted me up. One of like the last, I think it was the second to last day of school in college, and he painted me up to look like Darth Maul, like my whole head.
Oh wow!
And then something happened on campus, and he was like, "I need to get the fuck out of here." And I was like, "I'll come with you." And we drove back to his house in the middle of the night, and I was Darth Maul the whole thing. You know. And we were having like a dramatic conversation about like his ex-girlfriend and life and all this shit. And there I am, Darth Maul.
Oh, God.
Fully. I mean, there were photos of it. I just don't think I have them anymore, but there were photos.
I have one photo of that.
I was going to say, I know you.
Serious conversation with Darth Maul.
It was. He was in complete face paint.
Yeah.
And we were,
and you know serious. What? After he burned down the art school dorm.
Man. And I didn't burn down the art school. Stop.
The dorm. I said the dorm room.
Okay.
You burned down the dorm room. Which is the dorm room in the art school.
I did not burn it down.
Oh,
Let's
sorry.
just keep that clear.
You were
You
were part of the conspiracy that accidentally burned the dorm room. He had to do community service, and the basement of the building was all the practice rooms.
Yeah.
And one of the things he did was he painted Darth Maul's face. Yeah. In the basement, and I always thought that it was an homage to me.
Yeah. Which also bullshit. That community service thing, that rap was fucking nonsense, top to bottom. And let me tell you why. The only thing I did wrong in that whole affair was that I had turpentine instead of like the non-flammable paint thinner, which, let's be honest, anybody could have missed that on a syllabus. That was not me being intentionally dangerous. I just happened to have turpentine. I didn't light it.
Yeah. So Joe asked me to join, and
Doug lit it.
and I came on just to hold his hand. Is really what it is, because I had no interest in a podcast, and he didn't think he could talk for an hour.
Shit. That's a lie. He knows he could talk for an hour.
But that's the thing. Early on,
it was not like that.
Yeah, early on, it was actually early on. I mean, I can talk to a wall. That's the problem.
Okay.
And I can go on.
That's perfect for podcasting, though.
if you want to do one. And then Joe was like, come on and we'll talk about shit. And we did. And it just became the check-in for our friendship.
Right.
And as we both went in different directions, because like I was off getting master's degrees, and then he eventually moved out to California, and it just became our podcast became our friendship check-in.
Well, that was our calls. It was the phone calls.
Yeah.
We used to have phone calls where we'd talk for like 2 hours. And I don't remember which of our wives suggested it, but one of them said, "What? Just record that." You know.
Oh no! It was probably your wife. It wasn't my wife. Yeah,
I don't remember whose it was.
I like that idea myself.
I didn't have a wife at that point, so
I like that idea.
Right,
record those conversations.
Well, that's
essentially what we did. That's essentially what Queen Pruitt and I did. Every day we would have some off the wall conversation, and I'm literally just shaking my head at, you just said what? And I was like, I should record you. And she was like, no. And I said, I should record you because people will not believe some of the stuff that we talk about. And so here we are 96 episodes later. I think
how many episodes we have, Joe?
We just recorded 962.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I know.
So 96 plus an extra number.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot.
And honestly, I have slowly, I'm always trying to get myself out of the show. That's the reality of it. Like I'm always trying to like weasel my way out. Because like I like to think of myself as like the left leg of this mech. Like if this is Voltron, Joe is most of Voltron and I'm just the left leg here. And I'm always trying to make him, just get out of it. Not that I don't want to do it, but he is the Ozone Nightmare. And he's got so many other things he does now. Like he comes onto all these other shows. He actually wants to talk to people. He's got Doug now and they're doing a whole thing on the side. He's got I don't know why we record the video games, but if he wants to do it, we can do it. And there's all this stuff. It's all Joe wanting to do stuff and me going, okay. I mean, the only thing that I don't think I will do is I won't do video because I don't feel the need. Yes, well, you didn't tell me I needed a camera.
Yeah. I did forget.
You assumed, and that was the mistake.
I totally and I will take some credit on that too. I totally assumed he already had a camera, but nope, not on the Mac Mini. You won't have a camera.
I try so hard to walk away from all this.
Nope,
but I love Joe, and so it's like, Joe, you want to do this? Okay, let's do it. You want to record the video games? Well, fucking do it. You want to watch some movies and record them? Okay.
All right. Well, hold on. Let's clarify 3 things really quick.
Yeah.
One, you said you're only the left leg of the mech. The mech falls down if it doesn't have a leg. So don't pretend you're not important. You are important. You think I do everything from the structure, but the show doesn't exist if you're not on it. I've told you that before. The show
I know, but there's so many streams to the show. I mean, you get the fives and all this stuff. Joe went to a podcast convention at one point. Like, he's involved. He's serious. Whereas,
it's fun sometimes. But the other thing is the video games, that's no effort.
Well, we're already doing that. Yeah.
Anyway. I'm just hitting record.
Honestly, the only thing we have to do for that is just tame our humor down a little bit.
Dude. I don't even think we do that.
Oh, we do. Yes, we do. Well, there are jokes so bad that even you say, I should probably cut that out of the recording.
Nope.
There have been. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we can play off each other and then it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Although I did publish the one where I suggested killing the children in Baldur's Gate very casually. I left that in there because
but that's not that weird for us.
Not for us, but
I swear Lando sounds like Queen Pruitt because she says the exact same shit to me. She literally has said on the freaking air, "It's your show." It's your show, and I'm like, well, okay, yeah, I do a lot of stuff, but you're part of this conversation too.
When Joe and I play video games, I always play a woman. And it came to my realization that Joe has seen me more as a woman than he has seen me like in years.
That's true.
Yeah. And my whole thing is I don't want to play as a man because if I'm following a character, I want to look at a woman's ass because it's distracting. I don't want to look at my own ass. Like, that's not interesting to me.
The logic follows. I guess I'm just more open in video games where I really don't care what I'm looking at. I mean,
But you're looking at it for hours. How can you not care?
Guys can have nice asses in video games. It
Oh
doesn't
my
matter.
gosh! I'm so glad I just play Call of Duty and I don't see anything but the gun. You know,
there's that. Yeah.
I mean, I played an elf. They have very feminine.
Oh no, but your elf was so pretty though. I
He
mean,
was. That's what I'm saying.
gosh.
So it didn't bother me. But for me, I want to play a character that I can somewhat see myself in. And I cannot imagine being a woman.
I feel the same way. I want to play a character that I can see myself in a different way.
Well, you're saying it differently.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. I swear. I need a nerd alert button over here somewhere. I swear I do. Yeah. This is unbelievable, man.
It is.
Oh, gosh. But I love it.
Hey, you
though.
asked.
I love
you
it,
sent
though.
this request, so
I did,
you can't say anything.
It's all on me. It's all on me. But I love it, though. I think I said sometime last year, when I started like really trying to listen to your show,
I'm so
initially I was like, dude, I don't get it. And I'm not interested in these weird ass movies or any of that stuff. But I gave it a try anyway. And what I found was I enjoyed the dynamic between the two of you. Okay. And I enjoy just how passionate, in particular you, Mr. Esposito, just how passionate you are about these B movies or these foreign movies, because you don't just come in there and say this was a good movie. You know,
that would be boring.
Yeah, you literally break it down, or as you say, Lando, you give the juice.
The juice, yeah. Juice. Do you know, and the funny thing is, do you know where that whole juice thing comes from? Not the line, but the actual act of Joe doing it. I gave up television when I was doing my graduate school. I did 2 graduate degrees at the same time, so I had no time for television.
Respect.
But I loved Farscape.
Respect. Man.
You know what? It's easy to do stuff when you don't have television.
That's true.
And I loved Farscape, and Joe had Farscape, and Joe used to watch the episodes and then call me and tell me what happened. Yeah. And so he'd be like, okay. He's like, Scorpius did this and Crichton did that. And then this thing happened over here. And that was like, that right there is the how his whole reviews originated. That was just him calling me and telling me what happened in the show.
That is a friend.
I think you basically recounted all of like season 3 to me. I think it's when I was
I'm pretty sure you're correct.
Yeah.
I think it was in season 3 on. Yeah.
So like I said, it's a weird relationship.
That's it. You got it. It's a weird you can stop right there. That should be the subtitle for the show. Really?
Now, Lando, where do you stand when it comes to doing reviews? He clearly is passionate, but where do you stand when it comes to actually sitting down and saying, you know what, my assignment is to review movie so-and-so by so-and-so?
In what context?
Do you feel like, okay, let me just do this because Joe says so, or do you actually enjoy it?
I like movies, but Joe and I have very different tastes in movies. But the thing is, I'm also open to most experiences, as long as they're not crowds. Well,
also, your free time is much different than mine.
Yeah. Well, I have.
So it's a different thing.
Yeah. I have kids, and then I've got. There's always lots of weird shit going on. So it's like. I don't have the time I used to. When I used to have a fuck ton of time. Yeah. And now it's like I just feel like I'm always behind the clock. But no, I like watching weird movies. And I like watching weird movies with Joe because we have a good time. Like, it's not even laughing at them. Even if we're watching something we like. I mean, it's enjoyable to break things down. Plus, I gotta, one of my degrees is basically in English literature, and that's all just criticism and breaking things down and paying attention and essentially doing reviews. I mean,
okay.
And so for me, and a lot of that was theater. Like I did a lot of Shakespeare shit. So for like me watching movies, like it's really not that far off from my degrees.
Right. Okay.
So it's
other than just having time, though, right? Other than just having hours in the day. Because I've always given Joe shit for like, how do you watch this many movies? And
we watch them at night. Gosh, like basically, my wife
for the things you love.
My wife says that I've been on California time since Joe moved.
That is true.
Okay,
yeah, because Joe goes to bed early in California, and I go to bed super late in New Jersey.
Wow. I swear, man, this dynamic it's unlike anything else I've ever seen.
It's held together just barely. It's one of those things where you realize, like, holy shit, one shift in something and it all.
I don't see, and I disagree with you. I don't think it's barely. I think that this is a pretty fucking strong thing at this point.
I agree.
No, I think that you and
what I'm saying is, if you suddenly got a night job or something, then it's all in disarray because there's so little time.
I've already. Well, if I got a night job, yeah, I did once try to get a night job, and they basically kicked me out. Because they thought I was they thought they looked at my my resume and they were like, "Why are you here?" And I was because I have nothing to do at night.
And said, "Jesus."
Oh, that old chestnut, huh?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, even if my work situation will be changing soon, and I know that there'll be more demands on my time during the day, and I've already talked to Joe about the fact that we're going to have to shift some of the things we do. So, like, we always did the shows on Sunday, and by and large, we watch a movie almost every Saturday night now.
More often now.
Yeah. Mainly because we've played every fucking co-op game there is out there.
This is true.
But yeah, it's like we just shift, we just evolve, and we just keep going.
All right.
Because the thing is, the show's not important. The show's not important. We don't make any money. I don't believe there's listeners. No. It's all bullshit. The only thing that matters is that Joe and I get together and talk a lot of shit and have a good laugh. Because that's just life. Like, when you get to the end of your days, you're not going to look back and be like, I should have made more podcasts. Exactly. No, you're going to be sad. And he lives in California, and he's with the woman that he loves out there. And I live in New Jersey, and I'm with the woman I love. And, like, we can't be together. Yeah. So this is how we find ourselves together.
That's freaking beautiful, man. That's freaking beautiful.
And that's why, like, I'm terrible at all this, because all of this, apologies, is meaningless to me.
Yeah. I get it. I freaking get it. There's peace in that, man. No one. What's
peace is a strong word. Have you ever read Transmetropolitan?
I have not. I don't read a lot.
Comics.
Oh, okay. Well,
tell me more.
You should look up the wiki. You should look up the wiki on a character named Spider Jerusalem.
Spider awesome Jerusalem? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Because basically the comic starts with Spider Jerusalem being happily living on a mountain in the middle of nowhere, away from everybody. And then he essentially, when he runs out of money, right?
You know, doesn't he owe them one more assignment?
Yeah, something like that. And they force him to leave his mountain. And then he has to come back to society. And the thing is, like, I lived on a mountain in Vermont. Literally for 8 years, and it was fantastic. I was just I weathered COVID there, and I was
see it. Dang it! I was trying to show it on the screen. I found it.
Oh, the character? Oh, yeah. He's awesome looking. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm not that far off anymore.
No, that's why it's kind of a shame we don't have video, because
no, I think I have more tattoos than him. And
you
so
definitely have more. Forehead.
Yeah, so I had to come off the mountain for various reasons that had to do with my kids, and my wife as well. My wife, the weather in Vermont was beginning to, like, kind of get back. We had a negative 42 day, and I think, like, that was like, yeah. Whereas, like, I'm a polar bear. I was, like, out chopping wood, and I was like, oh, this is great. My beard froze, you know. But yeah. So I am not peace. I am fury.
Okay.
But the fury, there is a kind of peace in, like, kind of the maelstrom of it, you know, where you know what's important and fuck everything else. And yeah,
that's exactly what I mean.
I always tell my kids
what's important, and
I always tell my kids, I love you so much that if they said to me, hey, it's you or half the planet will die, my response is always, well, it's a shame about that other half of the planet.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it was getting awfully crowded.
It was getting awfully crowded anyway. Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I respect that. Dude, you guys, again, the dynamic is just freaking fascinating. We're going to pause for a quick commercial break. Man, thank y'all for being here and hanging out with us here. Everyday people doing everyday shit. I am Matt Pruitt. This is the Ozone Nightmare crew hanging out with us. Mr. Joe Esposito, Mr. Orlando Brew, a.k.a. Lando. Y'all stay right there. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. And we're back. Everyday people doing everyday shit. Thank y'all for being here. I see in the live chat, John Helm is here hanging out as usual, but also Mr. Clarence Brown has shown up and he says, hi, guys. thank y'all for being here live on YouTube. Again, with Ozone Nightmare crew, Mr. Joe Esposito and Mr. Orlando Brew, aka Lando. Getting to know them. I'm going to clear my throat because I should have done it in the break. But I'm a damn professional, so I don't do that. But been hanging out with these guys and learning a little bit more about them and just their origin story, if you will, how they got together and how the show started.
Oh my God, that sounds so much cooler than it actually is. Origin story. It
is, man. You guys are fascinating. I've been listening to this a lot longer than I care to share, but no, I'm kidding. I've been listening to you guys for a little while now, and it's been fascinating to hear the stories and hear the dynamic between you two on the show. I will have links in the show notes to their podcasts and their conversations. But now I wanted to get into some more meat and taters, if you will. So I was listening to
the Hummer Hitman.
What a classic. Man, you know what? The only two shows I always remember the titles is The Hummer Hitman, which I really thought.
You know what? There's only three or two things I've said on the show that I worried I'd get in trouble for. One was when I said that they should shoot the drivers of Hummers, which is The Hummer Hitman. And then two was when I was taken out of context because I said Columbine was awesome. And everyone was like, oh my God. He said it was. And I was like, no. I was like, I thought Columbine was awesome in like the scientific scale of the word, an event that is awesome in scale, that it changes everything.
Yes.
It's early on.
But
early on,
nobody's going to hear that, though.
Well, no, because it's 960 shows. No one's going back. If someone's going back, they're a stalker.
The other thing we're lucky about is that since there was no video, you didn't see the color drain from my face and my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, what?
Oh, there's come on.
He said what?
Dude, you know what? When you said the shit about the horse, I was dumbfounded. When you were like, we were talking about if people had bubbles over their head that basically said like their worst crime. And Joe was like, would you approach a woman that had a bubble over her head that said, I once fucked a horse? And I was like, Jesus Christ, I never even thought of that. It was like a question I never posed myself, which is impressive. And he said that, and Joe was like, yeah, I think I'd probably be okay with it. I mean, I'd want to know what was the situation. Yeah, I want to know what the situation was. And I was like,
context.
Whoa. And that became a survey for me. I asked so many people about that.
John Hill, exactly. Wow.
If you would the fact that somebody had sex with a horse at one point preclude you from wanting to have any sexual contact with them down the line? And I got some various fascinating answers.
See?
Gosh.
See? We all pretend. Gosh. We all pretend. But then
I also did my psychological thesis on whether sadomasochism was a learned behavior or whether it was like a natural sexual inclination.
Okay, you care to dive into that a little more?
I almost didn't graduate for it. How about that?
What?
Yeah, my university was like, I don't know if we want to have this in our repertoire. They didn't like my theory, and they tried really hard to make it so I wouldn't graduate. And they were like, we need to do another. Yeah, and they were like, you don't have enough. What was it? You don't have enough people in the survey. And I was like, there was a woman who was in the survey, did the whole class with me, and she'd started with like 40 people, and she ended with like 5. And I was like, she started with 40, she ended with 5. I was like, I started with like 25, 30, and I ended with 25, 30. They just didn't like the fact that I was trying to set this idea that some people are sadomasochist, and it's a natural sexual inclination. It's not something that like, because very often they go into this idea that it's kind of an abuse or it's a dysfunction. But the thing is, any sexual preference is only a dysfunction as long as it's something that disrupts your world. So for a long time, homosexuality was in the DSM, but it was only an issue if you had an issue with it. So the thing is, if you are a sadomasochist and it's not an issue, then it's not a dysfunction. And if it's something that comes into your life naturally, then, why is it any different than any other preference? And luckily, I had access to a lot of dominatrixes in New York City, and I had a lot of surveys done for me and interview surveys, and it was fun. But yeah, To my understanding, the only reason I graduated was because the guy who didn't want me to graduate died. I did not kill him.
Wow.
He died.
Okay, I'm glad we have that on tape. You said you did
driving
not
a
kill
Hummer.
him.
Yeah, and the school was like, you know what, we're gonna put it through, and I happily walked away. So the fact that Joe posed a question like that to me, and I hadn't thought about that baffled me. Yeah, and that's just I think it's just the two of us like fact checking each other's brains at this point. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here. I was looking for my notes, and apparently I've lost my notes. So this is.
You're gonna write down horsefucker.
Don't put that.
Horsefucker. Yes or no?
That's not gonna bring new people in. I don't think. No.
No, I won't.
No, but you know what?
The other show title that I really love is "My Name is Bob and I'm a God."
I'm Bob and I'm a God. Yeah, we were talking about nanotech. Yeah,
and that was a good show. That was
like
a good.
Well, it was interesting. It was an interesting debate about
what happens if people become energy.
Actually,
what
the only thing that Joe and I genuinely hard disagree about.
What's that? The fucking clone thing.
It's cloning.
Okay, let's hear this.
It's the one thing that we can't agree on because we have very different point of view of it.
Yes, sort of. I mean, we don't. But we do.
I need to know now.
But we get heated. No, because it's this idea that people think if they clone you, it's you, right?
Oh, wait a minute. Y'all talked about this last week. Right,
it comes up, over and over, and it's the whole thing.
A movie called The Clone, so it had to come.
But that movie perfectly demonstrated it, which is that the clone isn't you.
Right,
your brain is still in your head, and you've got your sensory experience. And if they make a clone from you, that clone wakes up, and it's not you. That clone thinks it might be you.
That clone, I remember you saying that. The clone thinks it's you.
Way
you are you. Period.
Yeah, the only way that we could actually carry you over is if we pulled your brain out and dropped it into that clone body, which is a better, but otherwise your consciousness stays with you. So when we talk about the transporter thing in Star Trek, where every time someone gets in a transporter, technically it fucking kills them and then it makes a copy someplace else. Right. And they're not, they don't care because from the point of view of the person that gets teleported to wherever they are, that they're just who they are. But they don't realize that they're basically just a clone of the person that got on the platform someplace else. It's basically like an automatic teleport kill machine. Well, we don't need this copy here anymore, so we'll just kill Picard here.
Never thought about it that way. Never thought about it that way.
Any commentary, or it's going to be an hour long back and forth again, because what you're talking about is the soul.
No, I'm talking about the narrative of your thought.
No, what you're talking about is if your brain can be moved from a body to a body, it's not really still you because your physicality has changed.
Yes, it'll change. The hormones will change your behavior.
But then you're still as dead as the transporter. Because if your body is new, you're not you.
The hormones
The
hormones will change some things, but they're not going to change who you are completely. If I take you, Joe, and I put you in a younger version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot more testosterone. You're going to pay a lot more attention to girls. You're going to, your voice is going to crack. You're going to be basically Joe back in adolescence, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, your collective experience will still be there.
But it won't be me the same way it was. That version is gone because the ability to now know you have 20 or 30 more potential years, assuming you don't get hit by a rocket or something, that's going to change your perspective. So it's not the same person. Now, what you're talking about is a matter of degree, right? Because it's the same brain, but if you suddenly regress 20 years, I do not believe for a second you're the same person. It's not just that you're like, oh, guess what? I can run up and down stairs faster.
But that's philosophical.
Yeah, well,
that's philosophical.
That's the problem. Yeah. That's why we disagree. It's the only thing that we fully disagree about.
I can see a fist fight coming from this.
No, it's not.
No, it's fun. It's a fun disagreement. It's a fun disagreement. Unlike 80% of the rest of the goddamn planet, we can disagree without it becoming some kind of, I'm going to shoot you in the back of an alley somewhere.
Exactly. That's I freaking love that. One of the things I think I remember I wanted to ask you guys. You all go through so many different movies. All right. And the softball question is like, what is your favorite movie? Okay. Ooh. I'm not even going there. Not going there. That's too easy.
Okay. It is.
What is the one movie that you watched and you were like, I cannot believe how absolutely shit-tastic this movie is. It had a budget and it actually got published. What the hell happened? How did this get approved?
Lando, you go first.
What movie?
Oh, fuck you. Why'd you put me in front here?
Because I'm going to go get it. I'm going to get it.
I see. And the thing is, like, I don't have favorite movie. Like, I don't have like a best of at this point where I like a lot of movies, but like every movie is so different to me.
Yeah, you can like a lot of movies, but
yeah, so
I'm
like
sure you haven't watched something and enjoyed. I'm sure you haven't enjoyed every single thing you've watched. I'm sure
no. In fact, was it Vince Vaughn? I think is one of the only people who's maybe shut a movie off. Most other movies, it was one movie that he did that I was like 20 minutes in, I was like, fuck this. I have nothing to do with that time. But I'm also really, I'm very careful about what I bring into my headcanon, and I don't like imagery that I don't want because it stays with me.
Okay.
But as far as movies, like you're saying, like what movie are we impressed happened at all?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying that you thought that it was so bad. And you were pretty much to the point of like, how did this even get approved?
That we hated.
This is the opposite of what I thought.
Yeah. See, you were looking for what you loved.
No,
yeah.
That's what I said, Joe. Joe, I said that's too easy. Anybody can tell me what they love. What did you absolutely hate?
What did we absolutely hate?
So bad. Oh, I do. But I have to hate it?
Clarence says The Room in live chat.
No, that's a bad movie, but it's fun because it's like, oh God, what delusional planet were you on? But I wouldn't say I hate The Room because it is entertaining in its terribleness.
It's just The Room.
The problem is to pick something I hated. Wow.
Oh, wait, Drawing Restraint number 9. Fuck that movie.
The Room? What is this?
Yeah,
24% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but you know what? That was like that was I understand what that was a bad movie. He
self-funded a delusional movie that he thought was great, and it's bad because he's the lead in it. I mean,
no, you know what? Watch Drawing Restraint number 9. That movie's got its head so far up its fucking ass. I mean,
Drawing Restraint.
No, I've got it. Man of Steel. Fuck you. It's not Superman. That's it.
But you know what? Listen. It's not good.
No,
it's not good. But I do like Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is pretty. He looks good.
I'm sorry, that's not enough for me. I've seen pretty men in other movies. That is not enough to keep me interested. When you take the character that I have seen the best version of and you do the opposite because you just don't like superheroes.
The dark.
So yes, I hate that movie. Okay, and it's got a big budget.
But I'm not surprised that movie got made. I mean, that honestly feels like just the same shit that happens every time.
Recycling to an extent, basically.
Well, it's not just that. They always seem to be like, let's make a movie about a character, but let's fuck it up really bad. And they're like, okay.
Well, no, see, and the thing that does make me surprised is that they allowed the two things on that is how many people Superman inadvertently gets killed, which seems, I don't know, antithetical to a character that's existed since the 30s for DC, and that they had the father tell him not to save kids on a bus.
Oh, that shit.
Whatever
that was
fuckwit at DC.
Classically.
Okay, again, that's taking the character and totally the inverse of it. Okay, I get that. But I'm talking about that's a big budget movie that got approved by so many levels of approvals.
I can't help but reiterate how bad that movie is.
No, that's bad.
Drawing Restraint number 9.
It is still the bottom. Wait, no, you know what? Actually, what we say? It was
from 2005.
No, there's a new bottom. Yeah, the new bottom is what's his name? Danzig's stupid movie.
Oh, the Danzig movie. Veronica.
Yeah, well, we started calling him Danny after that because it was so bad.
Wow, you know what?
Yeah,
that might be it.
Yeah, that was fucking awful.
What is
Danzig? Yeah, Danzig was the lead singer of the Misfits. Glenn
Briefly.
Danzig, Glenn Double N Danzig. Yeah, Glenny.
You know, there's
a piece of shit.
There are artists out there that are like kind of very up their own ass.
Boy, is he.
And the thing is like
he's his own polyp.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is like I do like some of Danzig's music, and I would like for his movie to be good, but we watched it and it was I was angry with that movie by the end.
Catwoman says Clarence Brown in the chat. Catwoman, horrible. how did it get approved? But again, that's a big budget one.
You know what? Fuck you. Catwoman was better than the Danzig movie. No, you don't understand. You know, he got a bunch of porn stars to do it's 3 short stories. He got a bunch of porn stars to do the first one. And then he was like, hey, you know what? Let's all do French accents. No reason for it. Bunch of untrained porn stars.
Martin Zandig
doing French accents. Oh, it was terrible.
Glenn Danzig is the guy. Just look at him and you'll see.
Glenn Danzig.
Glenn with 2 N's, Danzig.
There he is.
He is a specimen of a human being. And I don't mean that in a positive way.
Okay, now I see him. Highest rated one is, what is this here? This is...
that movie was awful. Veronica, right?
Less Than
Veronica
Zero is the highest rated. The Prophecy 2...
Okay,
Veronica.
that's got to be his music, not the movies he made. He made Veronica and...
it was his project altogether.
Veronica was his thing.
Holy crap. 22 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
Is that a trailer? You should screen that. Holy shit.
Yeah, and the first one is comical, so you're like okay with it. And then the second one is kind of like, it just starts to get so, like, you're like, what the hell am I watching?
The first one has a woman who has eyeballs on her breasts instead of nipples for a reason that is never explained.
Never explained. And then when they cry, it creates a Spider-Man.
That's right. It literally makes a spider into a 6-armed Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who wanders around killing prostitutes for some reason that, again, is never explained because he has no penis.
He's got no penis.
crotch.
Yeah. I think he's just really, really, like, he just can't get it out of his system. So he murders.
I guess, because it's so weird.
Yeah. But then the third story is so bad.
Trailer.
Ooh, let me play the trailer.
I found the trailer. Okay,
go ahead.
Pull this one up.
Play this piece of garbage.
Oh my gosh. What is this?
There's the Spider-Man. It's now Pat, you're alive.
Instant midnight masterpiece.
Today's face.
What is this?
It does not get it's not It's a crowd movie, I'll give you that.
Believe the hype.
Cause of death? Oh, that's what no face. Man, a shark must be. Wow. Yeah, wow.
You know what? This movie made nudity boring to me.
And that's an accomplishment.
This, safe to say that this trailer did absolutely nothing for me. But what's funny is all of the little marketing speak right there. Veronica, quote, Veronica is the best horror movie I've seen in the theaters this year. Pat O'Sullivan, The Daily Grindhouse.
That's terrible.
Okay, wait
Quote, a total roller coaster ride of emotions through anticipation to glee to disgust to sympathy to fascination. Veronica is its own world. Decor.
That one's somewhat accurate. Like the realm of reactions. I can believe that.
Clarence Brown says it looks like a Tubi special.
Tubi specials are better.
But Tubi's not. Yeah, I was going to say some things on Tubi ain't bad.
It is. I think of the movies that Joe and I have watched together, I think it is the worst. But the thing is, Drawing Restraint number 9 looks good, but nothing happens. It's just weird. Like, it's just a weird art film. But you get to the end of that and you're just bored. But like the end, but by the time I got to the end of the Danzig movie, I was angry with Danzig. I was like, why did you waste my time with this? Like,
I can't let this go. That movie came out in 2019.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 3 movies that are absolutely better, Pat. Go find copies of it. 1, Color Out of Space, Richard Stanley, masterpiece. Where was the other one? There were 2 more. The Lighthouse, Robert Eggers. You're going to have to put up with some gooey fluids from people, but great movie.
Only saying. You have problems with gooey fluids.
No, I don't. I'm just saying some people do.
Yeah, he ain't the only one.
In movies, I don't. Look, I watched Itchy the Killer. I don't have a problem with fluids. But that's just 2 right there. I mean, my wife watched Itchy the Killer, so I don't have a problem with semen at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
The title rises out of it.
Yeah, the title is coming out of semen at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That will test your relationship, let me tell you. If whoever you're with sticks with you past Itchy the Killer when that's not something they're into, stay with that person because you found the right one.
You know what? I like Westerns. That's kind of my like weakness. I like Westerns. You like horror movies? I like Westerns.
I do.
Yeah.
What Western
Westerns,
have you recently watched and enjoyed?
Oh man,
Because I didn't know they still really made them. The last one that I can remember was The Harder They Fall.
Yeah, Kevin Costner keeps making them.
Oh really?
And
He tries,
but like I honestly, for me, there's a movie called Open Range that for some reason that's like my safety movie. Like if I watch something that really fucks my mind up, I go watch Open Range.
Robert Duvall one?
Yeah, Robert Duvall and Kevin Costner. Actually, and I think the guy from Andor's in that too. I think that's like one of his earliest English language roles. Diego Luna. Yeah,
I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, but it's a small movie. It's pretty solid. The dialogue is good, and you know what? And I think what I like about Westerns is like they're really, the morality is very trimmed down. Like Silverado. It's like, you know who the bad guys are, you know who the good guys are, you know there's going to be a big fight. You know, it's I used to read
a lot of people wearing leather.
Oh no, the leather's not that good, but I love cowboy hats, so that works for me. Yeah, good great hats. Like Tombstone. Tombstone's fantastic. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
Yeah, everybody loves Tombstone. Yeah. Everybody loves Tombstone. I'm not the biggest Western guy, but I do remember thinking that movie was pretty solid, though.
I read a lot of Louis L'Amour growing up. That was like my romance novels, is reading his stuff.
Okay.
And it's like I said, it's just the trimmed down morality where it's like, you know who the good guy is, you know the bad guys, and the good guys are usually like incredibly clever, or they're really handy. Like they can build a hut with like, you know, a tree and a razor blade. You know, like they're it's this completely different era of people where like everyone is like very knowledgeable about like everyday things. It's cool. I like it. And so like I understand that Westerns can be simple, but I like that simplicity. It's a good way to kind of focus your mind. I don't like the new Westerns a lot of new Westerns now are like B movies, and like a lot of the new Kevin Costner stuff is really think him trying to kind of, he's chasing some kind of glory that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the mass I guess you could say mass population, what is their general interest in Westerns? Because I think about Westerns as a bit of a generational thing. I think about my grandparents loving them, my dad loving them. So not many people younger than me.
No.
How old are your parents, out of curiosity?
In their 60s. Well, my mom is. My dad's passed away, but in their 60s.
My father was in his late 80s, and my mother, and when he passed away, he was almost 90. My mother is in her late 80s. I like to joke around with Joe that like I was raised by a previous generation because my parents had kids late. Yeah. And also they were immigrants, so culturally they were kind of on a whole other wavelength. Yeah. So I find
you're
that
Cuban, right?
Yeah. So I find that a lot of the stuff that I was accessing, I was kind of like 1 foot in pop culture, and then I was kind of 1 foot in whatever the fuck was going on. And a lot of the stuff I got from them was, you know, generations off. Yeah. Because they were very old parents. Yeah. So it's like
I almost said you speak Portuguese, right? But that's such an inside joke that no one would get it.
No, yeah, I know. No one will get it. Yeah.
Because I'm a moron.
Yeah.
And I thought in Brazil they spoke Spanish, so I thought Lando would understand.
That's what that would get.
Yeah.
Such a I'm a dumbass.
So
joke.
you're right. You're right about it being a generational thing, and Westerns are kind of going away. The Old West was such a narrow period of history in reality. So it's like, but for somebody who likes storytelling, it's a really interesting period. It's a really good setting because people are on their own a lot of times. They have to be independent. They are the law half the time. If they're up against insurmountable odds, they have to figure out a way to get out around it themselves. Okay. You know?
So Kevin Costner, all right, because I didn't know he was doing this, but you look at someone like Taylor Sheridan. Do you think he's doing it the right way?
know who Taylor Sheridan is.
Okay. Well, Taylor Sheridan is the guy behind a lot of different shows. They were
Is it
particularly
the Yellowstone guy?
Yes.
Oh, is this
the Yellowstone guy?
I have no interest in that show.
I've seen some of Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
And the thing that is fascinating to me about that show, as somebody who admittedly is not nearly as into Westerns as, say, Lando or...
Yeah, but I don't think that those are... I don't think those are
I'm saying
Westerns.
as
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think they're Westerns?
Yeah.
Well, so they're... What they feel like to me is that somebody has the trappings, that somebody knows the basic tropes of Westerns
Yeah.
and puts them in there, but then throws all of this cursing and blood on top, I think, to try to appeal to younger people because...
Yeah, they're trying to sex it up, yeah.
And the weird part is, though, I haven't seen it working on younger people, but it works on older people. It's like they don't know what swearing is. Like my mom is fascinated by it. I'm like,
I started reading the Longmire books, and I like those books because they're like mysteries that take place in a totally made up county of Wyoming. So the guy made up his own county and just slapped it on Wyoming, and the main character is a sheriff there. And what's great about those books is that they're very old Western. The main character has a very old Westy mindset, and a lot of the morals are kind of like, figure it out yourself. And he's also really respectful of like Native American mythologies. And there's a mysticism that run through his books that are fantastic, where you're not sure if the main guy is just hallucinating or there is weird shit going on.
And Sheridan does a good bit of that in his 3 different series.
When they made Longmire a show, they dumped all that and they turned it into like almost like a police procedural, but out in Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
So it's like weird because I enjoy it as like a cop show, but not as the Western that the books are.
Okay, so that's when the executive stepped in, basically.
They cast Katie Sackhoff, so somebody was doing something smart.
Well, yes. But honestly, what's funny is I hate when you watch a show or you watch a movie of a book you like, and then it like takes over your image of what the characters look like, and then it like goes back. So now when you read the books, you're like, oh, that character's Katie Sackhoff.
And weirdly, that doesn't happen to me for some reason. I don't have that. That just never seems to happen with me.
No, so when you
mention it now, Lando, because I never thought about this either, because I don't think you say that you grew up reading Westerns, and I grew up reading Clive Barker and Stephen King. So now I know why I don't like goopy stuff, because that's the Clive Barker side. And Stephen King's horror is very dry.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of goopy horror. His stuff is more like,
it's very dry.
people going crazy.
Yeah.
But that's why I like horror movies.
Oh, I was reading Clive Barker too. I was just reading it all at the same time. I had this nice little read a Western, then read a horror book, then read a fantasy, then
horror stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like my main line is fantasy. I love fantasy. That's what I grew up with, and that's what I come back to.
And that's what Mr. Esposito is against, I believe, right?
Not against, but I very rarely connect with it.
It's not his bag, yeah.
Unless it's like Krull, which is great. It is fantasy, but he's got an awesome pet weapon.
It's It's not though. I think the reason you like it is because Krull is like backdoor science fiction.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It's fantasy, but the main parts are science fiction, like the beast.
And that's my problem is like I was never able to write fantasy because I internally I was always like, and there needs to be a system to the magic, and like I couldn't wrap my head around it. And then when I started thinking about it as advanced technology, then I was like, okay, wait a minute. If I sell it as magic, but it's really advanced technology, now it makes sense to me, and I don't need to tell the readers what's going on. Let them figure it out for themselves. Which is Richard K. Morgan did that one of his books where he did this fantasy trilogy, and it's basically like a backdoor sequel to his Takashi Kovacs books. It's like millions of years in the future.
Altered Carbon for people who may know that title instead of Takashi Kovacs.
Still haven't watched that one yet.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Stop. The first one is fine for people who aren't adhered to the books.
And
it's entertaining.
I'll explain.
That's the thing. I watch stuff just for entertainment because I don't read a lot of the books and stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is, the character in the books is so amazing, and they neutered the character completely because
Lando's Man of Steel.
It is. Oh yeah. Because in the books, right, you have this world where they can basically teleport consciousness across huge swaths of the galaxy, right? But they can't teleport bodies. Bodies take too long. So they realized that these governments realized that they wanted to keep control. They had to be able to like basically drop a crack team of like agents into bodies and have them just be able to like hit the ground running. So what they did was they created these psychopaths. They got these people and they trained them to be almost like these weird quasi-Buddhist ninja psychopaths that are like just constantly looking for a way to figure things out. And it's the way they describe it in the book is so amazing. And when you leave this job, you are never allowed to hold a political position or a police position. You're basically left to starve to death or do crime. And the main character, he has this mind that's like always picking information up, and sometimes stuff is like working in the back of his head. And it's amazing the way it's explained in the book. When they did it a show, they were like, you know what? This is too complicated. I don't think people are going to get it. And they just dumped all of it. They were called the Envoys. They just dumped the Envoys completely.
Okay, but that's fair from the marketing people. That's fair. Most people are not going to get that stuff, right?
And that's why I'm saying.
Hence the reason they lived on a mountain.
That's for people who don't love the books. Or like Superman. A lot of people I know like Man of Steel. I'm not going to tell them they're wrong.
Yeah, Clarence Brown in the chat. Clarence Brown in the chat likes Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel, but it was more of a just an entertainment thing. It wasn't necessarily that I was concerned that they were sticking to the character and the true
you can watch
Superman.
stuff. You can watch stuff for entertainment and just enjoy it and go on with your day.
Yeah.
I try to be very clear whenever I'm ranting about anything that I'm not telling anybody they're wrong for what they enjoy. You like what you like. Yeah. I like a lot of what most
that
people
is true.
would say
you are very, very upfront
shit.
about that. Yeah.
Or stuff that's beautiful and just people can't get it, like Stalker.
Yeah,
so
but
it's fine.
Stalker.
But hold on. But
Stalker.
But if you tell me you like something. But if you tell me you like something, then explain to me why. I just want to understand why.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will be like, I don't know, I just like it. And I'll be like, but why do you just like it? Like, what is what about it? Like, if you say you like Man of Steel, what about Man of Steel entertains you?
First off, I believe his name was Josh Powell. He did the score. I enjoyed the score.
Didn't Hans Zimmer do the score?
Was that Hans Zimmer that did that one?
Yeah, he did.
No, Powell did X-Men.
Hans Zimmer did the song Flight, which is like the big
Powell did
and that is beautiful music.
But the score is the first thing that gets me.
Yeah.
And then at the time, I thought Kevin Spacey was a little funny in that movie.
Wait.
Oh, Kevin Spacey's a trash.
Hold on. Are we talking Man of Steel or Superman Returns?
Isn't that Man of Steel? Isn't Kevin
Superman
Spacey
Returns?
Man of Steel?
Yeah, Superman Returns.
Yeah.
Oh God, which one am I thinking of?
The villain in that was Jesse Eisenberg. Is that no? You're thinking of Superman Returns.
No, Man of Steel, guys. Man of Steel was Zod coming in from space and fucking shit up.
Michael Shannon. That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking of. Batman 5 Superman.
Superman Returns is Brandon Routh, and it's basically a continuation of the Christopher Reeve Superman story, and they got Kevin Spacey to play Lex Luthor.
That's the one.
I don't know who did the
I'm thinking
music
of
for that
Superman
one.
Returns. Yeah, I'm thinking of Returns.
I love Superman Returns as well.
So now I need to think of what was Man of Steel.
That's what the one where they're just smashing into buildings and
that's what where Zod and his like Kryptonian Marine squad show up and start fucking shit up.
I may have watched 10 minutes of that one because it's not sticking in my brain. But I
you know what?
And this is why it's good to ask questions.
Yeah.
No, Superman Returns I have no issue with. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with Superman Returns.
Wow.
I don't have an issue.
So,
but again, to Clarence's point, I don't want anybody to feel like I'm telling them that they're stupid or dumb or whatever. Whatever connects with you. One of the reasons Lando said the show is meaningless, and I'm on the opposite end where my passion is I want people to find things that they didn't ordinarily think they would find. And if people, Stalker, which I go back to again and again and again, it didn't work for you, but Stacey Higginbotham enjoyed it. And I'm like, that's enough
that says a lot.
Me.
Yeah, she's sharp, man. But she's sharp. She's on a different aptitude, if you will. That woman's sharp.
I showed you that one tracking shot.
That sequence you showed me was freaking beautiful. I give you that. The movie was weird. I couldn't get through the first 20 minutes and literally just rip the disc out of my Xbox.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is this shit?
When I have talked about you quitting after 20 minutes, I always say I give him credit. He gave it 20 minutes. And I know most people wouldn't have given it 5.
Right.
So that's what I mean is I want people to find unusual things.
Solaris. Yeah.
So much of what art is presented to us as is just so bottom bargain basement nonsense. It's just, you know, it's marketed so that you'll respond, but you don't actually feel anything. And so I'm looking for stuff that makes people respond.
Yeah.
So like Lando and I had a debate just in the last show, I think, about the morality of these 2 characters in 2 different movies. And we were on opposite sides of it, but both of us had our reasoning. And so we responded differently in these 2 movies.
I fucking hated that guy, yeah.
I know you did. You hated Coffin Joe. And I said, at least I understand where he's coming from. He's a pure scumbag. That's fine. The other guy, Chow Yun Fat's Joe, was trying to have his cake and fuck it too. I used that line in the show. I'm using it again. And that bothers me because it was just weird to the women.
It was a weird morality for the character.
It was.
Yeah.
So the fact that we had this hour-long back and forth on that, I'm like, whatever you think of it, the movie got a response.
Yeah.
So somebody could watch it for the fascination of, okay, which of these 2 was off its rocker?
They got
I have
engagement.
to find out.
Marketing got engagement. That's all.
I just don't like movies that do like, I hate torture porn movies, those kinds of movies. You know, like No Way Out movies, things like that. I hate the movie that are basically just there to like break your psyche.
I went through that phase when I was younger. I watched all that shit. And
I am far more sensitive to these things. And here's the thing. I pick up a lot of shit that Joe doesn't pick up. And I don't mean in a good way. Like Joe played World of Warcraft for years, right? And he had a guild, and he was high up in that guild, and he had a really high level character, and his wife played, and it was a whole thing, and it was fantastic, right? I played that game, and I got an entire system on basically human morality and people and what people do even when they should be doing one thing, but they do something else. Like, there's a whole sink loss fallacy. There's a whole, I want to be a hero. I don't want to be a, and and it's like totally different experiences. We played the same game, but we just had a complete, like I used to play he hated the battlegrounds. He used to do the what do you call the raids. I played the battlegrounds like crazy, and I was watching players and what the things that they would do. And it's like same game, but we walked away with just a totally different experience. But I this is going back to the psychology. Yeah. I pay attention even when I shouldn't be. And so things get in and they bother me. And like, we watched and I don't pay attention when I should be. What? We watched that super cut they did of Prometheus and
oh yeah, Paradise. And great fan edit.
I mean, it's a beautiful edit. But fuck that movie. Like I mean It is the not. I mean, Prometheus. I don't like Prometheus because I think the writing is poor. It's a beautiful looking movie, but I think the writing is poor. But the Paradise, is it Paradise on its own? Is that what it's called?
No, the one on its own is it's Alien, Covenant, and Prometheus.
Oh, Covenant,
together.
Covenant. I hated Covenant so much because the message of that movie was that basically there was like no hope. They go through all this shit. They go through this brutal fucking movie. And at the end, they're on the ship with the evil android. And he's like, I'm going to fuck you all up. And it's like, that's it. You're all dead. And it's like,
Joe owns it.
Of course he does. Yeah.
Well, because you're supposed to legally have the movies when you download them. And I do try to follow it. Plus, Covenant was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, and he didn't realize I was going to get as flippin' angry about it as I did. And I did. I mean, I still am. Like, whenever I think of that movie, I'm like, fuck that No Way Out situation.
And I'm like, David was right. Fuck people. So kill them all. Man. So I was fine with the ending. The ending didn't bother me.
See, but that's the hilarious conundrum of Joe and I.
Yeah.
Which is Joe is like,
you talking about like, Superman a minute ago. And
he's sitting there going, kill everybody. I agree with David, but he likes to be around people.
Oh, God.
Whereas, like, I don't want to kill them all. I just don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah. Lando, you about like
there's
me.
A point, so.
What's that?
I'm like, it's all going to be horrible in the end. I'm a massive pessimist. You have kids. You have hope in the future. I don't. I'll have cancer or dementia, and I'll go crazy and kill myself at like 70. I don't know. Whatever.
Listen. So heartache is built in. That's life.
I know you always say that, but it doesn't mean I have to be happy about that's where we're going.
But you try to just enjoy it and be content. And I think that, when negative input just makes it a lot worse on your psychology.
That's why I watch stupid movies.
That's why, and that's why I like watching stupid movies with you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I swear, dude.
It's a strange mix. It's a strange mix.
I freaking
don't know what to tell you.
So, Lando, before we go, you mentioned writing books.
Oh no, I'm not a writer anymore.
Not anymore. What happened there? Because I did look you up on
Oh no, I pulled everything. I pulled everything off Amazon because I was like, "Fuck Amazon and their shit." Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean,
no,
in the current,
I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. I don't think you should not have your books
in the
but
current
I have a problem
climate that we exist in. The only thing you can really speak with is your money.
That's right.
And you do that by taking your money away from different companies, services, whatever, and just accept the discomfort.
That's right.
And I was at a point where I was like, you know what? My writing's not really going where I want. I'm kind of too much of a weird guy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I tried this. I can still do it for myself if I want. I'm good. I don't need an audience. I don't.
You can still write without an audience.
Oh,
you can write because
when
you
I
feel
get
like
the mood.
writing. Yeah.
But I just realized that when I was younger, I think I wanted an audience, but really I think I just wanted a paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair though.
I just got to a point where I was like, I'm good. I'm fine. I don't need this. I was like, nobody, I don't think anybody needs it either. Like, I like weird things. And
what were you writing?
What was I writing, Joe?
Well, Artificial Fear is a cyborg Western. Break World is about a guy who is either going insane or is existing across two realities. How do I know this shit and you don't?
You did the art for one.
No, because
did you do the art for all his books, Joe?
No, just Break World and
yeah, you did.
And,
you did. You did art for all of them.
Was there more than two?
There's three. And we just never. Oh no, we never did the cover for.
No, we never did that.
You did two covers. We did two covers. The first one, yeah.
Artificial Fear and Break World are the two I did. Yeah.
Oh, sorry for hitting my mic. My bad.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was terrible at the publication process. That's the other part of this too. Is that like, I think I was born in the wrong era. Like I wanted to be a recluse writer, like one of these guys who like writes a few books and otherwise like is just completely off the grid. And
those
and
still exist, bro.
That era is over. Now they want you to have like a Twitter following and you have an Instagram and like
that's what the publishers want.
Yeah, they want they want to social media everything. And it's like, the author sometimes doesn't need to be part of the process, because the thing is, once you write, I mean, you kind of leave it out there and then people interpret it and see things the way they want. Yeah. And
on to the next.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I tried and nothing came of it. And then I realized that I had been leaning too much of my identity on it for too long and said, hey, you know what? It's time to do other things. And I just quietly put it away.
Fascinating. So what are the quietly other things that you're doing? If you don't mind me asking.
I think that it is a loss. I'm just going to tell you, I think it's a loss that Artificial Fear and Break World are not available for people to enjoy some way. Because I think they're good stories. You don't want to do anything else. You don't want to be. I don't disagree with that. That's fine. But I think you wrote two good stories, and especially Break World. I wish
Joe likes Break World, because Break World, there's like so much of Joe and I in that book. Because the thing is, they tell you to hook onto emotions of your own and then like kind of lay them out into other worlds so that you can like work off of a place of honesty. Yeah. And I use Joe and I as a core element of that book. So there's a lot of that book that's Joe and I.
Which book did you put the story about? The
sounds like it would be fascinating to me.
In a tree?
Oh, what's that?
The one,
the one with no legs in the tree. That was Artificial Fear. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Woman has no legs and she has herself hung in a tree to have sex so she can feel like she's standing up. That's not mine. That came from a coworker of Joe's.
That's something an actual person told me.
I put it in my book because I was like, that's fucked up. And then I read that at my thesis defense when I did my degree in writing popular fiction. Oh my gosh, dude. And it was great because the whole room... I got to the part in the story where the father finds out, and there's a punchline to the story, and at that moment the whole room just sucked a breath in, and then like I delivered the punchline, and everyone was like, they all laughed, and I was like, yes,
you won, you won the day.
Yeah. My
story from a guy who was in the Navy.
Yeah, well, it is, yeah, and the story is told in the book by a guy who's basically like an ex-Navy guy who's police.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, I am still a storyteller, I guess. I'm just not. I'm probably getting into teaching now because children are the future and we're ignoring them. And I think that kids need to learn to be better communicators, especially with the barrage of media that's hitting them and the technologies that are trying to kind of take hold of their consciousness.
Outstanding.
I want to be on the front lines.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
I'm headed there, and otherwise, I was a stay-at-home dad for a long time. But I have a lot of weird shit going on all the time. I just don't need an audience.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
I know, but it doesn't feel fine in this culture
Well,
anymore.
that's the thing. Unfortunately, this culture is much more me, look at me. It's just, it is what it is.
I think it's sad that you have two good pieces of art that nobody else can enjoy now. That's my thing. I'm not telling you to get back on anything, but I wish people could still read your stuff because I think those two stories are well told, they're complete, and they're good.
I am best when I am unseen. It's the way I see it. And it's funny because Joe can't see me in a crowd. Talk about weird effects. If I'm, there's a periphery where you can't see me anymore. It's like 20 feet or something like that, and I disappear.
Yeah.
And I'm not easy to miss. And for some reason, Joe can't see me coming. I have to be within like 20 feet or else I vanish in a crowd. It's a funny thing, but yes, I prefer.
It's clearly a Joe thing there.
Yeah, many things are.
Yeah. So
you still have. So you haven't considered just at least sticking them out there for people to like, even on Internet Archive or something. I mean, that's not self-promotion, but again, it's widely available that way.
I guess I just don't care enough about people to want to leave them there. I guess I did it for other reasons. Like, fair. I like going to other worlds and seeing weird shit. I like falling in love over and over again and space fights. And I like going places that nobody will ever go to but me. I have a fantasy novel I've been brewing for like the last 6-7 years. And it's like, it's there and I have fun with it and it's in my head and, I love it, but I don't know if I feel the need to share it.
Okay. So now I'm going to try to tickle your psychology side. Is that considered selfish?
What that I don't want to share? What that I don't want to share with the class? Yeah,
I mean, you have these great ideas of art, and art can selfish, be enjoyed
unless it's a response to negative response. Here's the thing: you can only get hit so many times before you turn around and you go, "Hey, I'm out." Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, society has hit way too many times and I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to take the fight to where I can take it to make the world a better place. Word. I'm going to try to educate some kids and be a good friend and be a good dad. Word. I'll take the bullets where I can. But there's places where, you know what? Maybe I'm just a little too weird. Maybe it just doesn't hit. I mean, and maybe I just don't like the process. Plus, I fucking hate filling out paperwork and the process of getting published. It's so much paperwork and so many rejection letters. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you on that. Okay. I'm going to give you experience of writing that most other arts don't get, right? Because Joe, you draw a picture and then you have a picture and you can show it to people, right? I used to joke around in art school that being a writer is the worst kind of artist, because in art school you play an instrument, you can play a guitar, and a girl will be like, "Ooh, you play guitar, right?" Mm-hmm. You paint, you can be like, "Oh, look at my painting," and the girl or people in general can look at your art and go, "Ooh, I like your art." You make pottery, you can build them a pot, and they can see it right away, right? Mm-hmm. All of these, but if you write, you're like, "Hey, you want to read my book?" It's so unsexy. It doesn't get you laid. Like, it's just awful. You're the lowest rung on the artistic ladder. It's just I mean, I have no idea yeah. Anyway, so when you finish your first book, you want there to be trumpets. You want there to be like the universe to stop and go, "Oh, I have created this thing." And then the thing is, nothing happens. Nothing happens. And the reality is nobody cares. And then you go into the process of trying to publish it. And then the publishing comes back at you and basically says, we really don't care. And you get like 1,000 rejection letters. Yep. And some people have the skin to handle that.
Yeah.
And
that
some people
rejection is that rejection is a son of a bitch, man. I feel you on that. Being in the current profession that I'm in, it is a constant just stream of no thanks, or even the inbox that's empty because nobody responded to you. That's rejection. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You put your name out there for these auditions and you don't hear back. They totally ghost you. I feel you on that. Rejection it takes a certain mindset to be able to deal with it and keep pushing forward in that same particular field that you're in.
Yeah. And I just try to say, you know what, is this, do I need them to say, I mean, with you, it's a job you want to pursue. But in my instance, I look at it and I say, is this the thing that I need to pursue? I can pursue other things.
Yeah.
I have other endeavors I can follow. I have other paths I can, it's writing is a bitch. It is a cruel bitch. And sometimes you do it and it's amazing because you find yourself teleported someplace that no one's ever been. Yeah. And it's great. But then no one's ever going to get it. No one's ever going to see it the way you see it. There's a great thing with Joe where, what was it? The woman who was part bear and then she had human legs. And you were like, I think you thought she was wearing a coat. There's a character in one of my books. It's she may or may not be a hallucination, and she's got the upper body of an animal, and then she's got the lower body of a woman, and then she has a face that's basically a metal mask. And the main character has sex with her at one point, and Joe assumed that it was a woman wearing a fur coat. And that was his interpretation. And I was like, no, she's an animal. But it's like
I got static about the horse fucking question.
Well, it's a hallucination. You can fuck whatever you want in your mind.
You wrote it. See, you planted that shit. That was long Inception type stuff.
Long Inception.
I know what's going on.
So it's we pursue all kinds of arts. We just want to feel content with the world. We just want to feel touched by something that makes us feel happy. And writing was just it was like a bad ex-girlfriend that I kept coming back to. And finally I was like, I need to find a new girl. Like, this is no good. It's like Joe and his B movies. I always tell him he's the abused wife of B movies.
This is true.
Where he's like, if only they'd done this, it'd be okay. Really, he's nice. He's a good guy when he doesn't drink. I swear the editing is really good in this movie. And I'm there holding his hand going, it'll be better next time. It's okay. Fine. No, I get it.
It says the creator dilemma is what you pretty much described. That's spot on. All right. Well, gentlemen, this has been
way longer than planned, as expected. Of course.
I expected this to run long, so I have no beef with that. Now, when you were here that first time, that was a little bit of a shock. It's like, hi, damn, this dude's still talking. I love you, brother. You know that. No, but
Italian. I can't shut up.
This has been a lot of fun and quite enlightening to be able to pick both of your brains and learn a little bit more. This is typically in podcasting where you would promote said products, said productions, or what have you that you got going on. I know y'all ain't gonna do it, so
listen to Joe's show.
Well, what I was going to say is actually the beauty of it is that you can experience Lando's mind through the movie commentaries we do, through the main show. You will hear all this stuff.
But why would you want to? Jesus Christ.
Look, I gave up, unlike you, I gave up on trying to unlock why people are all borked in the head.
No, but that's the only game left in town at this point. Why are people so fucked? We could just figure that out. If we could unlock it, everyone could be happy and it'd be a nice little planet where everything would get done. It's like, instead it's turning into this like murder drone where it's like, 2-man enter and nobody leaves. So no, it's the only game in town trying to understand the human condition.
Oh gosh.
Well, So if you listen to our show, the main show, the Friday show, and then the commentaries, you will hear very different points of view on how we view the world, because that comes out in those. So if I can't get Lando to write and he won't engage anywhere else, that's where you can, I'm extracting it like the bug in fucking Starship Troopers, like the brain bug, just sucking the shit out. That's what I'm doing.
No, it's just love. That's all. The show is just love. It's the love of the two of us and just doing dumb shit together. That's all it is.
And it's freaking awesome.
And it's communicated. You see it. I am totally a sap. I call him darling all the time.
You do.
Like he's my little darling, you know.
I have no issue with it.
No, exactly. No, that we have gone past that like masculinity wall where they're like, oh, you know, bros. It's like, no.
On that wall.
Yeah, no, I love this man.
To begin with.
I love this man. He is fantastic. You know,
but
I hope I die before him. Yeah. Because I don't want to be around when he's not around.
That's what's up. And that's the thing. Like I said when we started this episode, when it came to your show, I initially was like, I have no interest in all these crazy ass video games. I don't play video games. I have no interest in any of these movies because I don't watch movies like that. But the dynamic between the two of you hooked me. And I can tell that there's true, not only respect there, but there's true love there between the two of you. And I think it's freaking beautiful and should be shared, you know? So yeah, I will continue to tune into the show that has the longest intro and longest outro.
We have an intro?
Well,
wait a minute.
We sometimes go on before we get to the meat of things.
Dude, I thought the going on was the show.
No.
Secondary.
When I say intro, I should have said intro music and outro music.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Listen.
And
I'm going to say this about the intro and outro music.
I get that. I get what you're trying to do. At least I think I know what you're trying to do. But go ahead.
Well, I paid for it. I'd like those artists to be heard more than 10 seconds.
I like the song.
I think those guys are really good musicians.
Yep.
And if I can get people to listen to them again, I want to bring people to creators however I can.
I get that. And again, you can get that. You don't have to do 10 seconds. You can do 20. 30 seconds.
How long is our opening?
It's like a minute.
It's good
40?
minute. It's good minute plus. Yeah.
You know what, Joe? Make it uncomfortable. It's fine.
No, I will, because I've got it timed to when I come in on that certain beat, and I'm not altering that because goddamn, I do all the work for this.
I love Joe's mind. It has to fit. There has to be a structure to the universe, and I'm fine with that. I've known that since we were in college together, and I support him in trying to put the world to his structure. So if it's a minute, it's a minute.
I respect it. And like I said, I know why he's doing it. That's why I respect it. But yeah,
I've never had a complaint. If a bunch of people said this music sucks, and it's
could you
long,
imagine? Could you imagine somebody trying to complain? The response. I mean, you know what? I don't.
I can solve that problem for you. Go listen to the fuck something else.
Right.
That's the solution.
I don't even have access to the email anymore on purpose.
You have access to nothing.
Yes,
I control
because
it all.
Because like, yeah,
get ugly.
Oh no, because like I'm kind of like, you know what? You don't like not to be offensive, but it's like you don't like the music. Skip ahead. There's a little dial. It's the whole
That's the thing.
What was the radio thing? People were like,
program has a 30-second skip now.
I don't want that kind of music on the radio. Or someone's like, well, then just fucking turn it off.
That's the thing.
You got fingers.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah. I did. There was one person who wrote in and they said something about, I don't remember what we were talking about. This is a long time ago. And they said something about, well, I don't listen to your show to hear like political stuff. And I mean, and I was like, and we don't. We
try not to, because if we start,
you typically
if we
but
start,
my response was, listen to something the fuck else. That was the sentence. Right? And I just sent it. I'm like, I don't need you.
I feel bad because
any of these hateful pieces of shit who are like, but fuck off, go away. I don't want you.
Joe wants to build the audience.
Unfree content.
Joe wants to build the audience, and I appreciate that. But I'm also like the first person to just burn the audience, to be like, no, I don't care. I'm not here to make money. I'm just here because I like talking to Joe.
In all these years, I drew one red line with you. Do you remember what it was?
What was the red line?
When you chewed like popcorn.
Oh yeah, that was it.
To shoot fountains of blood.
Oh, that was so funny. I didn't know the shit out of people.
I redline you too. Shout
and
out
that was
to
also,
Jason
but that was
Squivel in
also,
the chat.
wasn't that also like literally 20 years ago?
No, it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
but I
that's the
remember
other
real clearly,
weird thing
like,
is,
oh God, it was
is
just
the
like
fact
so
that
bad.
Podcasting got big again. How many years ago?
5,
yeah. Right? And at that point, Joe and I were still doing it.
Yeah,
like a bunch of idiots for like 15 years at that point. You know, honestly, it's like embarrassing. But we're like, oh, how many shows have you done? And I'm like 962. And like that becomes obscene at that point.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
that leaves out the 5s and the other stuff too. And then people are like, how much? And I'm like,
yeah, they're gonna plug. I swear they're gonna plug the whole fucking thing into an AI, and the thing's gonna go on forever, and it's not gonna be us.
They could. There's enough content. I'm sorry, we're just dragging this out now. You're trying to end this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll stop.
Yeah. Thank you, gents, so freaking much, for real. I'm glad that I was able to get this scheduled, to work with all 3 of our schedules and the time zones and so forth. I really do appreciate the honesty and just y'all being who you are on these mics right now, as well as on your show. I don't think there's enough of that out there. And you're sharing stuff that most people don't know about, and you're putting an interesting twist on it, an interesting conversation on it, even to the point to where I even thought about checking out, what is it called? The History of the Occult or something like that.
Ooh, that's a really good movie.
That's good. You know, that was really good. Yeah.
I never heard of it, but you all talked about it, and I was like, maybe I might want to go check this out because of the conversation between you two. So shout out to the both of you on that.
Before we go, there's one question I have to ask you.
Sure.
So if you saw somebody with a bubble over their head that said that they'd had sexual relations with a horse, would you be unwilling to get involved with them?
Would I be unwilling to get involved with someone that had a bubble over their head that said they had sex with a horse?
This is the whole thing. Everyone has a bubble over their head that basically shows the worst thing that they've done. And you see, and you're single, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a pretty woman.
Important note, that means that's the worst thing they've ever done.
That's the worst thing they've done, right?
In mind.
There's a pretty woman down the bar and you see her and she smiles at you. She's just your type. And there's a bubble over her head that says, had sex with a horse once. Do you approach or do you just abstain?
I would approach, because that doesn't guarantee it's going.
My man, that's
there you go. There you go. Hey, listen, I said that I would have questions.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would approach.
We'd all have questions.
I would approach and ask questions, but because again, it doesn't guarantee it's going anywhere just because you approach. I mean, now I do have a pretty high track record, but that's not on this story.
There you go. See, I love asking that question because it forces people to stop and be like, okay, hold on, let me think about this. Because I had someone say to me, I wouldn't approach because I would never be able to match that, and I was like, what? And they were like,
that's a fascinating answer.
Yeah, when they were like, I would worry that they were thinking about the horse. And I was like, okay.
That's a fascinating answer.
And this is
see, let me tell you, Mr. Brew, I love me some me. That's all I'll say. I love me some me. So when I go in these conversations, that's in the back of my head. I love me some me. You're gonna have to work really hard to beat me out. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
That's a level of self-confidence I don't think I ever had in my younger life at all.
Oh, but I mean, the other extreme is having no confidence and just existing from the bottom.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's where I live. Like I actually, what is it? I have no confidence, but because I have nothing, I lose nothing. I'll do anything.
Yeah. There's that. There's that.
Yeah. So it's, but yes, I'd like to ask that question because we get interesting answers. And ever since Joe brought it up, I'm always curious what people will say because it was a question that took me by surprise, and I've gotten so many weird answers.
It's a good question. That's like a nice little icebreaker.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm serious.
I don't know if it's an icebreaker.
Break it out at a party. If you go to a party again, break it out at a party. I'm curious to see the survey of answers.
Joe, break it out to party, okay?
Don't break it out at work.
I'm more likely to ever be at a party in the near future than
don't
you are.
Don't break it out at a work party, though.
Sooner you than I.
I don't know. The people that I work with kind of know what I'm like, so they probably wouldn't be all that shocked if I phrased it correctly. It might be passable.
Oh man,
Think about that one.
Thank you, gents, so much. I will have links in the show notes for to get to the show and try to promote you all as best I can, because again, I really do enjoy it. I really do appreciate the both of you being here. Thanks again for joining me, gentlemen.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode. As usual, I appreciate you hanging out with us each and every week or whenever we can get on these dadgum mics, because as mentioned previously, the schedule is going to be a little bit fluid going forward with all of the stuff that we got going on that we've previously discussed. Now, before we go, every week on this little platform I have, I try to make an effort to reference the importance of self-love, mental health care, and loving other people in this world. We are now in the fourth quarter of the year 2025, right? It's September, okay? The previous 3 to 4 months of 2025 have been unbelievably challenging for us. You all know that. Some of the challenges that I've shared privately in the Patreon community, some challenges I've shared publicly. And when I say I've shared, I mean as in both Phoebe and I have shared. I'm a private person. Some of you all know that. And I tend to not overshare unless it's been discussed as a unit with her. But yes, I've shared quite a few challenges from the third quarter of 2025 recently. A few things that I didn't share, though, okay? I'll share now. And it points directly at doing what you can about your mental health and your well-being as best you can. Previously in Q3, this was like early on, I think it was around June or so, we lost a young relative due to a self-inflicted gunshot. The young man had been suffering with his mental health, and the family, they knew about his struggles and definitely worked as best they could to help, but tragically came up short. Then right at the close of Q3, that's like last week, right? We lost another young relative due to self-harm. And again, the family knew about his struggles. And they definitely worked as best they could with him, but tragically came up short. So, if you or anyone you know are struggling with your mental health, please feel free to speak up and ask for resources. You can also reach out to 988 Lifeline if you're in the United States by dialing 988 or by going to lifeline.org. Please don't hesitate to speak up and ask for help, even if it means emailing us at the show. Seriously, podcast@antpruitt.com. Okay? Seriously. Needless to say, the last few months have been very difficult. We were both looking at putting Q3 behind us for obvious reasons, be it job hunt struggles or stuff I just mentioned, especially with losing our relatives right as the month of August came to a close. I could see a bright outlook for myself and my family. And Phoebe could too. It's like we're putting this stuff behind us, but it's looking bright, Q4, we could see it. Just last week on the show, Phoebe shared with all of you how her mother reached out because Phoebe hadn't been on the show a few times. And that, of course, led to some real personal conversations between the two of them. And it led to a brighter future between them as mother and daughter. Those conversations have to happen, folks. Phoebe was wondering why she hadn't heard from her mother when her cousin was tragically passed away, just the other day, last week. And at the time of recording this here show right now, it is September 2nd, second day of September. On September 1st, yesterday, I received a very difficult phone call. No one had heard from Phoebe's mother, my mother-in-law. Because just after our cousin passed away, she apparently passed away in her sleep. With faith in God, our Father, we believe she transitioned peacefully. She'd been ill and battling through it. Yeah, she was. But again, faithfully, we believe she peacefully passed this weekend as the month officially closed, as the quarter officially closed. Now, receiving that phone call yesterday was pretty tough, but not as tough as it was for me to tell Phoebe. I appreciate my in-laws for trusting me to share that tragic news with Phoebe when they couldn't do so themselves. And I get it. Miss Liz, you and I had an interesting relationship. I won't lie about that. But we still have love for each other. I'm very happy, and I sent my thanks to God that you and your daughter Phoebe had a chance to really talk and have a conversation just last week. It meant a lot to your daughter, and I believe it meant a lot to you. I'm also grateful that you reached out to our boys, your grandsons, to have a similar conversation with them. Everyone felt much better after your phone calls. Seriously, everyone. Everyone felt like you had peace in your heart. We had no idea it would be the last time speaking with you, but I have no regrets because everyone was sure to say, I love you to you, and heard you say it in return. So folks, listening to this right now, I want to say thank you in advance for all of your support during this time of bereavement. Right now, I don't have a lot of answers, nor does Phoebe, as our lives literally changed just 24 hours ago. Phoebe asked me to share this information with you, our community, because y'all mean so much to us and our boys. And again, we thank you for all the love and the support. Some of you have supported us outside of Patreon via other channels or messages or what have you, and it's truly appreciated. Thank you. I'm getting Phoebe up out of here soon so she can be back in Carolina. I'll get over there at some point when I know more, but right now we know absolutely nothing. Because again, this was just yesterday, literally 24 hours ago. Thank you again, everyone. Please take time to reach out if a person crosses your mind, okay? If someone crosses your mind, reach out to them. Take the time. Please take time to tell the loved ones you love them. Please take time to do something good for yourself and know that it is okay to love you some you. Miss Liz, we love you and we wish you a peaceful journey into heaven.